Red, heavy wind and rain warnings have been issued for Northland, Auckland, Coromandel Peninsula and Gisborne. Dozens of schools have closed and New Zealand domestic flights, both in and out of Auckland, have been cancelled, and people are being urged to stay home until tomorrow, Tuesday. A state of emergency has been declared in Northland as Cyclone Gabrielle continues to wreak havoc, bringing wind gusts, some up to 140 kilometres an hour. Around 30,000 households are without power. Northland Civil Defence are warning that the worst of the weather is yet to come, and the Minister for Emergency Management had this to say in a press briefing moments ago.
Met Service has advised me that today is the critical day in the event, with a highly dangerous combination of high winds and heavy rain. So the message is please take care and follow the advice of emergency services.
Far North Mayor Moko te Pania no Ngati Kahu ki Whangaroa te Raroa is with us now. Tēnā koe Mayor te Pania, thank you for joining us.
Hey, tēnā koe hoa.
Now, what can you tell us about the situation in your region caused by Cyclone Gabrielle?
Oh, it was an incredibly wet and windy night last night across Northland, and that definitely was felt. Here in the Far North District, we have about 10,000 households without power across 33 different settlements. So Top Energy, who are our power company up here, are out and about assessing the damage and trying to restore energy across those communities right now. In Whangare and Kaipara, we had about 18,500 customers affected by power outages, and North Power are trying to address those situations there. But it is incredibly difficult. We had a few local road closures because of fallen trees and debris. But other than that, we've been lucky to get away without that real widespread flooding we usually get with a significant storm event. A few evacuations. We had 33 community-led welfare centres across our district. 2 of them were activated last night. We had about 33 whānau members at Te Kaupapa Māori or Whangaroa after trees come down into their whare. So keeping a close eye on the situation, like Minister McNulty said, it's going to get worse throughout today. Cyclone Gabrielle is still tracking down our eastern coast here in Northland, but we're ready and ready to respond at our Emergency Operations Centre here in Kaikohe.
Now, we know that emergencies such as this, people are expecting communication, they're expecting leadership. As Far North Mayor, what do you see as some of the biggest concerns to ensure that you keep people abreast of what's going on?
Yeah, I think what we saw following that devastation and loss of life in Auckland was that people really just want to be kept in the know about what's going on. And so as best as I've been able to, I've been trying to ensure whānau are along the ride with me as the mayor up here in the Far North, in terms of giving them a behind-the-scenes look of what an emergency operations centre is, doing lives to keep them updated straight after we get those civil defence briefings, and then just making sure we're getting out as much information as we can to whānau about where road closures are, where power outages are, how they can contact us should they have any issues or events relating to this significant weather event, and also if they need help. So right now that call is still out there, that for any whānau affected to please contact our council 0800 920 029 so that we can triage all of the requests that we get here and respond to them so that people can continue to stay safe.
Mayor te Pania, we've had plenty of notice that this weather pattern was coming. How are emergency services coping, and what reports have you had of people doing it really tough?
Yeah, it was actually really great to hear in our call this morning that emergency services overnight were able to respond to all of the calls that came through. They didn't have to use any special powers or call in any reinforcements, which is always really good. But what's really great to know as well is that we've got extra personnel on the ground across all of our different services, be it police, fire and emergency New Zealand, Hātohone, St John, council staff themselves, out across our district to respond when and where we need to. We also know though that our southern cousins in the north are going to be getting hit now. We sort of felt the first heat of Cyclone Gabrielle last night, so it's just ensuring that together we continue to put those comms out across the people and continue to stay on top of things.
Now, for whānau concerned about their current situation, where should they go to evacuate and how should they make that determination?
Yeah, so the first key message there is that if you are safe in your whare right now, that you stay there. If you think that you need to leave, check in with friends and whānau in the first instance if you can go to them, or call up our council so that we can try and help you when and where we need to. That could be opening up one of our welfare centres to be able to take whānau. It could be finding alternative accommodation for them. But in those instances, we really do want to hear from whānau on the ground. Now, police have been door knocking yesterday, and we are sending crews out today for those whare that we know, because we get storms through Northland quite often, are at risk of flooding and have been asking people to self-evacuate and to look at alternative accommodation, and we'll continue to do that throughout the day.
Far North Mayor Moko te Pania, thank you so much for joining us today, and we wish our whānau in the north a very safe 48 hours. Ngā mihi.
Tēnā koe, ngā mihi.